My friends, welcome to Talk Casual. As always, we're broadcasting live here in the Outer Rim at the Fly Casual headquarters. As always, I'm the Grandmaster Assault, Ariel, Marz, Marzhole, whatever you like to call me. Welcome to today's broadcast. And today, it's going to be a very spicy affair. Yes, we're going to talk about it. It has been coming up a lot in discussions about Armada this week. It has been about Ark. Ark has come into the... Ark has finally decided to post some interesting news and has come up with this discussions. And I would like to discuss about it here today. And let's talk about who is Ark, what are they doing, what is coming out, and my thoughts for that. So let's get into it. So just bear with me with a sec. Let's do that. There we go. No, wrong one. All right. Let's get into it. So who is Ark? So let's get into it. Ark is the Armada Ruleset Collective. So they were announced, they were formed basically, were around about the time that AMG decided to cut production on Armada. I believe there were some talks about taking the welcome Stephen. They were around here to before that, but they took kind of in charge. They took a role to get into something after AMG decided to drop the thing. So basically, Ark was there for TOs, for an actual competitive rule set, and to keep the Armada rule set in line with the specific tournaments and culminating into worlds. So there's a good, perfect article just come out by Roscoe now from Aluminum Falcon. Have a read of that. I'll definitely post some comments in there where Mac talks about how he comes into this kind of rule set here. So as you can see here, here's the actual website as well for Ark. So their purpose is to living rule set, competitive balance, tournament support, core execution, project management, and playtesting. Definitely have a look at the website. There's a good resource there. They did come out with a kind of calm redone as well, like in documents for all the rules. So that was their first major release. And now just coming up on the 1st of August, so in almost less than a week's time, it will be their major points rebalancing that they're doing here now. And it has created some talk, some divide in the community. As I said, we'll go through those and we'll go through my thoughts here as well. And it looks like the thing's not working. Okay, beautiful. So apologies, the chat's not working, but that's okay. We'll figure that out afterwards. All right, so the guiding principles of Ark is systems approach, balanced philosophy, update schedule, and score principles. And the core members, now these are the members, Nick Brown, Mac, Mackenzie, Dalana, Nick Larson, Lewis Wright, Lark, and James Chen. Now these guys mostly are from the competitive side of Armada. I know some of them, I've met some of them. Of course, everyone knows Mac. You can't even go into a room without hearing Mac. So Lark is awesome. He's a great guy from the UK. I met him at Worlds. But these guys are known competitive Armada players. And they've created this great website here, this great tool there that has organized players, some resources, some FAQs, and about. They're still working on it at the moment, and they're still working on all that stuff that needs to be going out. So for those players who are not sure, who are not unknown, have a look at the website. As I said, I'll post a link for it very shortly for you. I'll post it in the chat. That'll be a good idea. So what are they doing? As I said before, they did come out with an FAQ with a rules, a live rules document. So Armada reference manual. So as you can see here, it's all here. You can download it with text only being a shorter version or the full document. There's a change log as well. So that was the first thing they did. And recently, just now, they've decided to change some points. It's coming up very shortly. Just bear with me 1 sec. I'll go and post these. The point here is the link for that on the chat. Right, let's get to the changes, the big ones that we know of. So let's just bear with me 1 sec. The one-man band that I am here today. Chrome off. Oh, first, let's head into news. I do apologize. I should have gone into that first. News for us. We've got the Trans-Tasman Championship coming up on Thursday. If you haven't joined up, make sure you join up. Do all the rules. Join up the Discord and read the rules. The players pack. Make sure you have completed all the steps by Wednesday. It's a great event. We are using legacy rules for this one, so the community wanted to give that a go. So we are using the Wave 0 legacy units and updates on there. So make sure that you are looking at that. Prizes for this year are the cards, of course. Everyone gets a card. So we've got Anakin Skywalker, Admiral Screed, General Draven, and Kraken. So they're going to be the normal cards, not going to be the ARC cards. I've decided on that. So if we need to change them to ARC cards, we'll decide to figure that out. And always, there is a door prize to be wary about. The door prize this year is the Lego Millennium Falcon. I was about to say Millennium Falcon. Thanks to Andrew Bullen there. So make sure you join up. So if you are paid up, you can join up as a free player. You don't need to pay, but you forfeit, of course, the prizes. But if you join up as a paid player, you do get the cards and you get access to the door prize as well. Of course, conditions apply. And make sure you read the player's document about that. But as I said, we are using Legacy Wave 0 for this event. If you are interested, make sure you read up the document and join by Wednesday. We start on this Thursday coming, and it's a 4-round event starting each week to determine the Trans-Tasman Championship. So Australia and New Zealand, we're looking there, but we always have international raiders coming in through. Right, that's done and dusted. Let's now get into the main meat and potatoes here. Let's talk about ARC. So, what is the full release of ARC coming very shortly? On the 1st of August, they'll be releasing ships, squadrons, and some commander upgrades. I've gathered as much as I can that I've seen around from different material sources, from ARC, from Aluminum Falcon, from 13th Fleet. I've trolled the internet and gathered up as much as I can. So just bear with me 1 sec, guys. Welcome, Roscoe. Thank you. Thank you for all the stuff that you've been releasing. A big shout out to Roscoe and Aluminum Falcon for his work that he's done with the his blog for the Armada community. Great help and asset there, so make sure you join that. So let's go through the ARC releases that we are aware at the moment. It is subject to change at the moment. There might be errors in the pictures that I've gathered. So this is what I know that is happening at the moment. So let's go through the ships at the moment. So we've got the Architon's Light Cruiser. This is a copy, of course, of the Imperial Light Cruiser. It's basically the same points, same firing arc, same dice, same AA. The only major differences that we have here are the defensive tokens. So instead of 2 redirects, it has 2 evades, of course, to stop our. I presume that's from Obi-Wan, because of Obi-Wan. Yep, because of Obi-Wan. And this one has no turbo laser slot. It has 2 ordnance spots and 2 officers. So really interesting Architon's Light Cruiser. Good thing to see, because one thing that it is missing at the moment for Armada is more releases for the Republic and CIS. So, great, perfect. It's great to see Architans, Republic Architans. It was in Clone Wars, so it was destined to be there. So, again, great, fantastic, loving the look of it. And as I said, bit different, great. Next one of my favorites is the Interdictor Combat Refit. It has gone down from 93 to 85 points. No changes on the bar, on the upgrade slots, and it's all the same all around there. Great, perfect. The only downside I see at the moment is probably needed a turbo laser slot instead of an iron slot. Maybe, I'm not quite sure. I'm not a developer. I'm just a player and a content creator and a target and organizer. That's all I am. I not really have the brain space to do all that kind of stuff. This is why we have these kind of people. Great step, awesome look. If you want to go on Interdictor on the cheap, the combat's there for you. For me personally, I will still go the suppression because, as I see, an Interdictor, why do you take an Interdictor for? You take it for the experimental retrofit slots. If you take one retrofit, yeah, I'm trying to say it out now. Well, if you take one of them slots, why not take the other? Usually when, like, I've got targeting scramblers and grab shift. Grab shift for 2 points is just a bargain steal. It is one of the ones you want to take. And then, of course, you've got the G8s as well, is really awesome. And then the grab whales as well too. So there are some really good experimental retrofits on the Interdictor. That's why you take it. That's why you have 2 on the suppression, and it's worth the points. But if you want to do an Interdictor on the light, you can't only have one. You really want to do one retro experimental retrofit, then the combat's for you. So yeah, great step. Don't get me wrong. It's not for me. I'll still take the suppression, but for those players who want to do it, just step their toes into a combat. They don't have to pay that much now to enter into the school of interdiction, as I like to call it. Next up is the modified Pelter class assault ship. So this one's gone down in points. I think it was 56 now to 52. No changes on the anything there on anything else. Just a points reduction there. I'm an Imperial player. I don't really have much of a say, but I presume Rebel players. I know Ian will be happy. That's one thing for sure. He loves his Pelters. I know that I've heard the talk that it's probably not the biggest of changes, but it is a change. It is a good change. Changes are good, especially when you don't see these. Especially you don't see much of the Rebel Pelters. Republic Pelters you see a lot, but not Rebel Pelters. So maybe it'll give some fuel for thought for some Rebel players. Here's one of the new ones that we are going to see come out with the ARC release coming on the 1st. Now, this is on the chassis of a Munificent Comms frigate. Same points, I believe. No, it's 4 more points higher than the Comms frigate. And it is adding the support retrofit on there. So your comms net on there. Apart from that, I think that is... And it's adding the defensive retrofit as well by the looks of it. Compared to the comms frigate who doesn't have it. And it's lost the engineering one and added the offensive retrofit as well. By the looks of it. I've got this on side to side here. Again... Probably, I'm not, and of course this is a unique ship, so you can only take one at the moment. Again, I'm not quite sure. These could be subject to change, so be wary. These are the ones that I've got through the internet, trolling through the internet, trying to find out some details here. Again, great look, great response for those CIS players needing more ships. I don't have the MC30 here at the moment. I forgot to upload that one. There is an MC30 for the CIS, the Coron prototype. That is coming as well too. So keep an eye out for that. And it's got an iron slot on there too. So that's coming as well. Next coming up is the Venator Star Destroyer Imperator refit. So this is on the chassis of a Venator 1. Let's bring up the Venator 1. So the Venator 1 is 90 points. This is 100 points. This one drops the turbo laser slot and drops the fleet support as well, and gains an extra ordnance slot as well on this one. Token suites is the same, and everything else is the same. So this one's more your offensive in Venator compared to your two other Venators who push squadrons here, because the squadron value has gone down from 3 down to 2. Command and squad engineering values are the same. So this is really good for those players who want to get actually just a combative Venator in, because if you look at the Venator 2, it's really good for, because it can add thermal shields. The downside is that it has a squadron value of 5. So you're either putting spats on it to reduce it, or you're pushing squadrons. This one, you can't put spats on it, but it is a bit more offensive, a bit more chunky, and it can put thermals on it. So it's a Venator 1 with thermals, which is really awesome. It's the same points as a Venator 2, I believe. But as I said, you get in there nice and punchy in there, and it really do well there. So I really like this one. This is really good, coming shortly. Again, this is not a unique ship, so you can take multiples of these ships at the moment. As I said, it is always subject to change, of course, coming out on August 1st. Next one, we'll go to the squadrons now. We'll go on to Luke Skywalker. So he is now, he's 20 points still. He's lost the escort and gained rogue. Really good, awesome, because usually what you go after is especially with escort, if you see an escort unique, you go after your unique escort. So you want to destroy that as quickly as possible. Now, Luke can be escorted and also attack independently from the squadron in the squadron round. So which is really good. Will he be used more often? Time will tell. But awesome change. Probably much needed change. Same with Darth Vader. Darth Vader was, well, Darth Vader, you could choose anything and anyone. There's Officer Vader, Boarding Trooper Vader, Commander Vader, TIE Defender Vader, and everyone basically they choose Officer Vader or TIE Defender Vader. Here comes TIE Advanced Vader. So, gone down in points, I believe by 1, I believe. I think it's 21. Prove me wrong. And he's lost escort with, now he has screen. Perfect. Again, same problem with Luke. He was always the one targeted first. Morning, Ken. Welcome. So yeah, it's really good to see. And definitely screen will be awesome to use with Vader. Both Luke and Vader don't have Adept, which is fine. I'm totally fine with that. If you give them a bit more, if you give them Adept as well, they come a bit. You're looking at extra points there, and at the time you're looking, well, why add that? Just go for Vader Defender or something like that. So yeah, so the dropping. Basically, Vader already has the Force in his actual attack, so his crit icons count as hits. So, and double brace as well, as always, the same as before. Really good. So he goes, yeah, 1 less speed from a TIE Defender and 1 high point down, but also gaining screen as well. So really good, really great. Now there is a choice between Darth Vader, TIE Advance, and TIE Defender. So really good. Now there was a Han Solo card there. Could not get that one there. So we'll wait till August 1st on that one. So make sure you do pay attention to the release there. All right, let's move on to the commanders. So we'll go to the next Darth Vader alteration. So Darth Vader Commander. So I believe he's the same ability, but gone down to 28 points. Nice. Nice. You're still too expensive there. Now, 2 points, really good, really good. I think still much of a choice, but it's still worth, he's little bit better. Again, on the fence on this one. I'm not quite sure if he's worth 28 points still, but better than 30. I think it's 32. Quote me on that, people. I should know this off by heart, but I rarely look at Vader at the moment. I'm trying to desperately bring him up here at the moment. 34 points he was. So actually, a really good decrease there for Vader. Next is Admiral Screed, one of my personal favorites and one of my original fleet commanders here. So what Ark has done here is they've increased his points up from 24 to 26 to his original point status. Now he's basically the same, but his die cannot be re-rolled. So it's not like Lando where he can't be modified. It just cannot be re-rolled. So you can't use evades at close range. You can't use Pedix. This is where basically where Screed was a bit of a downer for the current meta at the moment. He was still useless against Pedix and evades. Yep, I used to love Screed. Oh man, I used to run Screed all the time. Now I'm thinking about him right now, so it's really great. But he can still be, instead of Lando, he can be cancelled by Scatter, and he can be like any card effects like Captain Brunson. So the dice can be cancelled. It's not like Lando's modify effect. So he does have still some weaknesses. As I said, at long range, he can be cancelled as well. If you are using Screed's ability on, say, an Onaga or something like that, or any other crits that are blue or red range kind of ability, they can be cancelled with evade dice. But at close range, he feels more deadly, which what Screed was designed for, black dice. But part of that wave 1 kind of fix there. So awesome change, great change. Back to 26 points. Yep, fair enough. For that ability there, fantastic. Sato, I should note, again, Rebel Trash. Don't look at Rebel Trash too much, but Ian will be happy on this one, I believe. Sato, I believe, it's gone down from 27 to 25 points. Now, his ability has changed now, so basically you roll your attack dice first, and then you choose what 2 dice you want to add. Then you have to cancel 2 dice. So he's a bit more like dual turbo laser. Is it dual turbo lasers? I should know. It is, dual turbo laser turrets. So think about dual turbo laser turrets, but like in Sato. Instead of 1, he does 2 instead. So again, really good. It gives you the players a choice when they roll what they want to get rid of. And it doesn't have, if, as I said, you roll 2 blanks there, you roll your other dice, then you get rid of those dice there. So really awesome, really fantastic. I like that. Sato will become really good choice for Rebel players. I know Ian will be excited about that. Palpatine, I believe, has just got a points reduction. He's now 32 points. He was 36, I believe. Going off the top of my head. 35 points. So 35 down to 32. I presume that's why Vader had a reduction as well. So Palpatine had to be a little bit higher than Vader as well. So down to 32 points. Again, will he still be taken? Not quite sure. Of course, Mundo has had some success with him. People have had, he can be used and can win. Will he be taken? Not quite sure. But again, points reduction, highly needed. He wasn't touched by AMG in their final release and their final update. So really good change there. Mon Mothma. Now, again, I don't know Rebel Trash. So I should bring up the Rebel players here. She was 27. Same points as before. The change that Ark has done now has made baked in a ECM for her for evades. Really good. I like that. That's really good. Really good change there. It's not a baked on. It's not like Krista Agate's discard one defense token to use it. It's basically an ECM, but for only 4 evades. So, yeah, really good. I like it because it goes with her theme, with her evades. So if you are targeted by an accuracy, you can still use your evade token. You can spend it. You don't discard it. Baked on, as easy as I can say, a baked on ECM for evades. Leia. Again, I am not a Rebel player, so I don't know fully on what Leia used to do, but what I can see what Ark is doing, it's basically you get a dial and token as well every time you use her. Really good. I like it. If I had an interdict, if she was an Imperial and I had the interdict, I would be using her. So repair and dial and token at the same time, and everything that you use, it's dial and token. So that would be awesome. That I can see MSU using it a lot. So from using for speed control. So from 1 to 3, squadrons using your full squadron value +1 all the time. Really good. Really awesome for Rebel players, especially for MSU, and for squadron units. They're just pushing out squadrons and then speed control. Repair, maybe, yeah. But definitely I can see just speed control and even dice control, but also just squadron control for Leia. Okay, and that's it. That's all I've got there for commanders. There was a Draven update as well. I did not see any cards for Draven, but I know if you look at the spread there, Draven is one of the cards. Han Solo is one of the cards, and the Corrin MC30 for the CIS is one of the cards that I don't have. We just have to wait until Ark releases that on the 1st of August. So really exciting stuff. Okay, cool. Thanks, Roscoe. Palps catches thermals and axe now. Okay, apparently there was a change of wording there as well. So, at the end, okay, thanks for that, Roscoe. Again, I've quickly gathered as much as these are, but it actually catches thermals and axe now. Cool, thanks for that. Appreciate it. All right, now these are the changes that are coming at the moment. There are going to be further changes. Subject to change, of course. They're the ones that I've released here today. Let's get to my thoughts and a reaction to what's happening right now. So, for me, it's kind of like when I first saw the news, when I first saw it, I thought, this is great, this is good news. But from what I've been seeing, there's been leaks here and leaks there and little bits and pieces coming out. I feel like that it has come a little too fast, too quickly, and a lot has come too fast, too quickly. But that's my own personal view. And as I said to Mac, because Mac has asked me what his thoughts on what's happening at the moment. I said, look, it is coming a bit too hard, too fast, but damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you go too slow, too not quickly enough, people will complain. If you come too hard, too fast, people will still complain. People will complain. It's the nature of the game. People have invested so much into this game right now, and to see the comments and the on the Facebook page, on Discord, and that, granted, there are some heated discussions right now about the game, but to see it is really good. it's really great to see that people are invested still into Armada, and to see some, discussions is really good, and people are caring on what they play. That is really good. That's the first mark I want to say off out loud. Let's start off with the positives. The positives are that, there is someone taking care of it. For me, it's really good to see. One of the things I did see is that we are making news. We are showing up on different... I did see this come up on a website. So Star Wars Armada lives as on Australia. Star Armada lives on as players race to publish new fan-made content. This is an actual article here talking about Legacy and Arc. So it's really good to see that I've seen several news articles coming up talking about that Armada isn't dead. And of course, we're not dead. As long as we keep playing the game, that's all that matters here, people. And for those, so to see that, to come up on my news feed, I'm like, wow, like, people are taking notice of what's happening right now. So that's really good to see. So for me, to basically do what AMG and FFG didn't do properly by the players is really good to see. As I said, too hard, too fast? Probably, yeah. That's how my own personal view. But I'm always been a negative towards change. Anytime that change has come through from AMG or FFG, it's always affected me negatively, and I had to change my fleets, like, the Avenger nerf or the Onaga nerf or something like that. I always had to change my fleet. And as always, Ian always used to say, nothing happened to me. Yeah, thanks, Ian. Yeah, so that was great. So yeah, I see. For me, it is going to be a bit of a change. Am I fully happy on? Not really. As I said, too hard, too fast. But as what the main talk that I hear most of the time when we talk about Armada is a perfect game. But there's certain things could change. Look at Palpatine. Look at Constantine. Look at the combat reflex. It's a great game, but there's always that but. Everyone has that but. It's like, we should change this, we should change that. Someone needs to step in and do these changes. Has it fragmented the Armada community? Yeah, of course it has. Anyone that does take charge and do this kind of stuff, you're always going to have some doubters. You're going to have some people who don't really like change. Fair enough. Understandable. It's totally understandable. People can have their views and their thoughts about it. That's perfectly fine. And people are purist at heart. That's fine. What I say to players right now, this is what I believe needs to happen. Talk to your communities. As a tournament organizer myself, I'm going to be talking to my community and see what they want to play. If you're just playing with your friends, choose what you want to play. Just think of this as a different variant of the game. You've got your 400 points, you've got your sector fleets, you've got your task force. Now you have your arcs, you have your legacies, and you have your standards. Ask the person you're playing with, what do you want to play with today? There is no rush for players to go into Arc. Play your standard Armada. If you're not ready to jump in, that's fine. Totally understandable. People are upset, yes, that Worlds is going to be Arc run and it's going to be Arc rules. I get it. I totally understand. You've been forced to go to Worlds to play it. I get it. It doesn't stop you from playing Armada how you want to play it. Okay? That's my take on it. I will play Armada how I want to play. I want to play Armada with everyone, as I said, as long as I get a game, as long as we get a game. Ash is like, bring back strategic advisor. I don't know about that one, but it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting if they do bring strategic back. So yeah, for me, play how you want to play. Ask your community how you want to play. If you don't like how Worlds is, they're fair enough. Make your own Worlds. Like have your own nationals. How you want to run it. It's up to you how you want to play. No one's forcing you. I understand the valid criticism that Arc is now taking Worlds and is now using their way. I get it, and I understand that's a bit frustrating. Hopefully, with the release of this now, it gives us valid time to play and test what's happening. So yeah, that's how I see it. One thing that I again, this is my thoughts when I first came out, when the news did come out about this release, and everyone using the word homebrew. For me, I'm not a full-on other player. I don't play other games. So for me, I didn't understand what the word homebrew was. For me, homebrew was kind of like this kind of version of that two players, kitchen players, will get together and say, well, this is what a Rebel Quasar would look like. And then they'll use that in their home game. That's what I thought homebrew was. I researched the term, and homebrew means basically anything created outside of the official development. So this is basically what is homebrew. But at the time, I thought that was basically a slur towards what was happening to what's Arc doing, which is not. But to me, every time when I heard the word another person playing using homebrew, it's not really a homebrew. It's more of unofficial content. That's what I like to see as Arc or as Legacy. They're unofficial content. It is a community-based development, tested, and like almost like officially made, like not unofficially, but officially, like actually presented as that. And for me, homebrew sounds like, as I said, two kitchen players making up pieces, writing up stats on a piece of paper, saying what something should look like, and then using that in a home game, which is not. But again, I wanted to research the actual word, what homebrew means, and it wasn't what I felt. But at the time when people saying homebrew, it just felt like a bit of a slur towards other players coming up with stuff. Again, this is my view of what I saw. Yep, community created content. Perfectly, Stephen. That's what I would use that. That's perfect. And I feel like that's probably the better way to go. As I said, this isn't going to affect kitchen-based players. They're the ones. Arc is not there for kitchen-based players. Kitchen-based players will always play the way they've played. They will play the rules how they see it, and you rarely see these players come to a tournament. Arc is there for those competitive-based players who want to run tournaments, who want to align themselves with other tournaments leading into Worlds. And as I said, there is nothing wrong with kitchen players. There's nothing wrong with playing the standard rules. Nothing. I am not bagging these people here. But this is why Arc has been created. This is why Arc is there for. So we can get some kind of consensus. Yes, I personally believe that they went too hard too fast. I think that a lot of this was done quickly with players that people don't know. Like a lot of people from Facebook and Discord don't know who Arc is and what it's about. I think Arc should have gone on the media, just basically done a media offensive and gone on to done videos, describe themselves, let them know who's who, and gone through the whole thing. I know they've done a lot of media presence, but still it hasn't been enough by the looks of it, because people are still confused and concerned of what's happening here. But again, as I said, damned if you do, damned if you don't. But I think they're going in the right step, and it will hopefully go in the right way. And as I said, once this content is released, we'll have our play and we'll get the bugs, and of course Arc will change it when they can. So that's my view there, guys. I believe I'm skeptical. Of course everyone's skeptical, but I'm happy. I'm revved up for the changes coming up, and hope you are too. I look forward to August 1st and doing some fleet building with the new stuff, and I hope you are too. So that's it for today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed what my view, my uptake there. As I said, my final thoughts: be positive, play the way that you wanted to play, and be kind to other players. And always just ask the opponent next to you want to play with is, how do you want to play Armada today? That's all it is. All it is a different way of playing Armada. As I say, instead of 400, 600 sector fleet, legacy, arc. That's all how I see it. We're not trying to divide Armada players. It's just trying to get players excited together. And as I said, seeing a news article about Armada truly excites me. Final reminder for those players, make sure you sign up for Trans-Tasman. It is coming up. Last entries are on Wednesday. So make sure you get all your fleet stuff in. And I look forward to seeing all you players battling out for the Trans-Tasman Championship. All right, guys, that's it for today. I hope that I've given you some thoughts, something to think about, something to talk about, and something to get excited about. I'm, as I said, very excited. As I said, I'll be eager what happens going on here, but it'll be good to see something new coming from Armada. I'll be back with more Trans-Tasman stuff coming shortly, but thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed today's live stream, and I hope you got some great info, some great thoughts, and continue the discussion of this great game. Thanks, everyone. Remember, like, subscribe, follow us on the socials, and fly casual. See you later.